Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the 61 Warlord guide. So, basically, I got an email earlier today from this guy called Artheon saying that he was having trouble playing Paragon and wanted to know what spec would be best to play on his warrior in a raid environment, something that's really easy, and also, you can pick up fairly quickly. And I have the spec for all of you in sort of the same scenario as the lovely Artheon. Now, this spec is 61 Warlord, 10 Riftblade, and 5 Tempest. Now, if you do not have the Storm Legion Souls, do not fear, you can exchange the Tempest for a Paragon, and it's only a very, very slight DPS loss, but ideally, sort of Tempest is a bit better because you have Shock Pulse for range disconnects. So yeah, ideally you want Tempest, but if not, you can have Paragon. So this spec is extremely easy to play. Literally, you have a builder macro, and you have 3 different finishes, which I'm sort of going to cover. So I'm generally just going to show you how to do the rotation, etc. You just kind of spam the builder macro, and you want to get both tactical surge up and battle surge up, and you'll want to ensure that you keep these up throughout the duration of the fight, because if these go down, then you're going to take basically a considerable DPS loss. So you want to get them up and keep them up as long as possible, because combined they give you about an extra 45% DPS, so it is a massive chunk. So basically you have a builder macro and a finisher macro, and it is as easy as that. It's so easy, like there is nothing else to it. There are various ways to min-max, such as if you look at my action bars now, I have 2 abilities, King of the Hill and also Decisive Strike. When they're not actually being cast in the macro, Empowering Strike is being cast. Now, it's actually a DPS gain to use the ability Flame Spear over Empowering Strike. So when those two are on cooldown, if you chuck in a Flame Spear, then that will result in a slight DPS increase, but it's nothing marginal. So anyway, just moving on, there is one cooldown that you have called Battlefield Experience. Now, this resets the cooldown of King of the Hill, Decisive Strike, Into the Breach, and Killing Field, and makes them all have no cooldown and cost 30% less power for the next 15 seconds. So basically, the way to use this is every minute, you basically want to use it as soon as it's off cooldown, and let's just get to sort of ideal battle scenario. So we got Battle Surge, Tactical Surge up, and use one Killing Field, and then pop the cooldown. So basically, all you want to do is you want to spam King of the Hill, which is at the top of the macro anyway, and every time it runs out, you want to refresh Killing Field, and literally your DPS will skyrocket through that period. Don't use any other finishes during that period. Just wait until Killing Field runs out, or it's going to be a DPS loss, because King of the Hill actually does a lot more damage than the second finisher ability, which is Breaking Blow, so that's why you spam King of the Hill and don't bother using that. It could be argued that it might be, in ideal terms, a slight DPS gain to use Icy Burst as well, but in all honesty, I really don't see the need for it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, literally that's pretty much it. It's a spam macro. You keep both Tactical Surge up and Battle Surge, and you press the finisher. Easy as that. Thank you for watching the guide, even though I feel like I've kind of just cheated you, because literally the spec is so straightforward. A link to the spec, a bit about the self buffs, will be in the description of the video. Feel free to share this with any warriors that are struggling to keep their damage up, because literally this spec can output insane numbers. It's sort of only about 2k DPS in like top raid end gear behind the best spec and best rotation, so it's really easy to do. You're going to be pulling out a lot of DPS. In my gear, which is kind of like it's a mixture. I'm kind of like halfway through tier 1 raiding, so I'm a bit off tier 2. I can pull about 18k easily in a raid environment with this spec, so if you're sort of just getting into tier 1 raids, you should easily be able to do 15k DPS with this, and if you're freshly dinged 60, then you should be able to do about 10k. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for watching. Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, tell a friend and whatnot, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.